I think it cements what we already know, that they're going to be the favorites to repeat, number one. Number two, they're not playing games. And number three, they have lived up to their word in every way you can imagine when it comes to their commitment to Tom Brady. This is who he wanted. This is somebody that he wanted. He wanted him when he was in New England. He wanted him when he got to Tampa Bay. Obviously, Bruce Arians, who was once completely against Antonio Brown being a member of their locker room, embraced it. Didn't, no tolerance policy, but nevertheless embraced it. And Antonio Brown came there. What did he have? About 45 receptions for 483 yards in a few games that he played, with 4 touchdowns, had a touchdown in the Super Bowl. But we forget that Antonio Brown, with a full season under his belt and healthy, a full training camp, full offseason, et cetera, this brother's an all-world receiver. We're forgetting that. And the fact is to have everybody back, the Godwins and the Mike Evans of the world, with an O.J. Howard coming back potentially. I mean, with Antonio Brown there, I just can't say enough about it. Antonio Brown is an elite receiver, and I don't think we need to forget how elite this brother is. So for him to remain there is a huge, huge deal for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It just cements what we already knew, that these brothers ain't playing. They're going out to repeat. And the fact that all the starters have returned says a boatload about their intent and about their belief in Tom Brady and about the fact that Tom Brady is running this franchise. Because if Tom Brady didn't want Antonio Brown there, not only would Antonio Brown not be there, Antonio Brown would not have wanted to come there if it were not for Tom Brady.
This means the Bucs are favorites at this moment to come out of the NFC and maybe even to repeat as champions, because Antonio Brown is one of the best receivers of all time. I don't mean one of the best, one of the 10 or 20 best. Like, you could argue top 3 or 4, certainly top 5. The quality of his prime was just about as good as the quality of any player who ever lived. You could take Jerry Rice and Randy Moss. His numbers fit in comfortably with those kind of players in his prime, and who's to say he's not still in his prime? I mean, he's taking $6 million if he hits bonuses, right? Not because of his play on the field. That's not why he's at 6 instead of multiples of that. It's because of the off-the-field stuff. When he's on the field, listen, is it coincidence that they get to the Super Bowl and who's catching touchdown passes? AB and Gronk, the 2 best pass catchers of their era and 2 of the best of all time. That's from the Bucs' point of view. What about from AB's point of view? It is 6 and change, right? If he hits his incentives. Boy, that's a long way to fall compared to where he was, but he's also very incentivized. And then you look back at the Bucs and you go, wait a minute, not only is Tom Brady throwing the ball to AB among all these other great receivers, AB is the best one. And by the way, and Gronk and all, the whole band's back together. But we know that with Brady, a lot of it, guys, is not just how good you are. That's part of it. It's, does he trust you? He's established a relationship of trust with Antonio Brown. So you mean to tell me instead of Edelman, it's now AB? The guy that Brady, it's Gronk and not Edelman, but AB? Oh, it's a problem.
Yeah, look, to the point, man, both of you. AB is going to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a 1-year, $3 million deal, all right? Let's put this in perspective. We are talking about a Hall of Famer when it comes to football that still has a lot left in the tank, that just signed for $3 million. These dudes getting 20, 25 for his type of talent. So that's a huge win. Tampa is benefiting from what you said, Max. They're benefiting from everything that transpired with Las Vegas. They're benefiting from the things that AB has had to deal with off the field, and now you get him now with a full off season, now with ability to get ingrained, still playing at a very high level for $3 million. That's what's big about this signing. We know AB gonna play well. We know he still has a lot left in the tank, but this does not happen. And now we're talking about Tom Brady, along with O.J. Howard, that's going to be coming back off an Achilles, along with Mike Evans, along with Chris Godwin. Leonard Fournette is back, and you just got Gio Bernard, and you got the pick in the draft. Antonio Brown, out of all of those guys I just named, let me give perspective, is the best offensive skill player on the team, and you got him for $3 million. That's why this is significant. The best offensive weapon for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers outside of Tom Brady is Antonio Brown, and he's about to play for $3 million. That's why this is significant and big.
It's significant with the $3 million, but that brings in a different storyline that elevates the significance. I'll modify it to a degree. Last game of the season, regular season, if I remember correctly, it was either that or the second to last game of the season. I think it was the last game of the season, regular season. Antonio Brown needed 11 receptions to trigger a $250,000 bonus. And Tom Brady got him his 11 receptions. Tom Brady threw the ball to him 15 times that game to make sure he got his $250,000. Now, what's the significance of that? This is when you talk about a guy and having and cultivating a relationship with you that's so profound, so significant, you can't really put a price on it. And that's what Antonio Brown just showed. Because I think even with his troubles, we can all assume an all-world receiver like Antonio Brown that had gotten through worrying about disciplinary action coming down upon him from the NFL, et cetera, we could all assume he could have gotten more than $3.1 million from somebody else. He wasn't going to get the money that he once received, and he blew. But he certainly was in a position as a Super Bowl champion who still has a lot in the tank to get more than $3.1 million as a receiver. He took it because of Tom Brady. He took it to play with that guy. And when you have that kind of guy that influences you, even an Antonio Brown of this world, to that degree, where this brother is willing to sit up there and say, all right, I'll take this money just to play with you, that speaks volumes about Tom Brady. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.